3, 2, 1, go. All right. Party! We are so excited. Oh no, and our heads are cut off over there.
We've got
Oh no. So we are on Instagram, we are on YouTube, and we are also on Facebook over here. And for Facebook, y'all have the that's the best you can. Oh, I'm so sorry for y'all. It's not too bad. Hopefully it's up and down. I don't know why it says to go. It was saying like, oh, hopefully that works. Oh, well, you know.
Oh, no. I think it's going to be sideways.
But I didn't know on Facebook. Anyways, we're so excited to be here. So we wanted to come on and just do like a live day of where we actually got to hang out with you guys and see you guys because as you know, bum, bada, bum, 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 bum. Love to Find officially released today. And so you may be thinking like, okay, great, but this is a long time coming, y'all. Like, I don't know, maybe we should give them a quick
let's give them a quick rundown. So we first got the contract for this book back in the year that Girl Defined released. So in 2016, I think maybe in the summertime of that release, we got the contract for another book. And we were like, oh, when our publisher asked us to write another one, we were like, we know what we want to write on. This has been something that's been a passion of ours. We've learned so much about God's design just through our own relationships and still have a lot to go, but just know how helpful it can be to get this kind of understanding, especially when you're young and especially before you get married, to understand his design for love. So we're like, we want to write something about love and romance. We weren't sure what. And then we started developing our ideas and talking to our publisher near the end of 2016. And then we officially started writing, I think like January of 2017.
It feels like it was a long
long time ago. I mean, really.
And one of the things that we really wanted to do is we wanted to write this book before I was really in a relationship or even married, because I was single at the time. And so we really wanted to have Kristen's perspective as a married woman and my perspective as a single woman. So that way when you read this book, it would have a very well-rounded feel. So when you just come from girls who are like, well, y'all are in relationships, you can't understand, or y'all are married, you can't understand, or y'all are real single, you can't understand. So it was really cool because I was totally single and she was totally married. Yep. She's totally married and now I'm not totally single. But anyways, so we wrote this book a year ago and that was the season of life that we were in. And so now fast forwarding where I'm in a relationship, you're still married, we're able to look back and go, wow, it's so cool that God kind of orchestrated all of that and really allowed it to happen during that unique, specific season before anything changed. So we could really bring you that hopefully really unique perspective for y'all to see.
Yeah, because when you're married, I know like being married, it can be easy to forget what it's like to be single.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes forget the struggle and the longings or just the discontentment or like, okay, how to keep your heart focused on God when you do want to get married and you're kind of looking at options. And so I am really grateful. I was joking with her. I was like, you know, God He's has you single so that we can work on this project and have both perspectives. Joking, of course.
More than now.
We don't know what God's plan ultimately was, but it did really work out. So, okay, timeline. January of 2017, we started writing, and it took us how many months?
I think it was like 4 months.
I think it was about 4 months, January to May. Maybe May 1st was our deadline. We turned it in, and then it's just crazy. It goes through all of these rounds of edits. So you pour your heart and soul and sleepless nights into this project, and then your publisher takes it and they're like, okay, red pen, scratch this,
very painful.
It's very humbling. Yes. But we have to remind ourselves they're on our team.
Yeah.
We're all on the same team wanting to make this the best it can be.
Or even between us, I'd come and I'd have poured my heart into this chapter. And I'm like, I think it's a really great direction. And then she would look at it and be like, you kind of missed the main point. And I'm like, no.
Or vice versa. That happens. So
that's so hard. It's like you pour your heart into something and then somebody comes and critiques it. Like, nice try, you know?
Yeah.
That's hard to
really
handle.
Hard. But in the end, we're always grateful because it turns out better.
Yeah.
In the moment, it's really painful. But after a few weeks, you're like, yes, I'm so grateful. So then it went through editing. And then in the fall of this past year, it went through design. So what y'all don't know is that our publisher actually sent us 2 different covers. And I wish we had them.
I was just
to show y'all.
that.
Maybe we'll have to post it sometime. No, because what if everyone likes the other one?
Oh yeah, I know.
Then they'll be like,
I was like, I wonder if I had it, but maybe we don't.
So they sent us this cover in digital form along with another cover that was so different, really cute, but very different, darker, more of like a bluish theme, kind of like fairy tales,
like nighttime.
Yeah, it was really cute and really cute graphics, but ultimately, obviously, we decided on this one, but it was just that weird moment because with Girl Defined, they only gave us that one option. They didn't give us 2. And
Yeah.
so when they sent us 2 for Love Defined, we
We're like, but it was crazy. So all we had was an image of it. So we had the image of this cover, and then we had the image of the other cover, and we showed our family. We're like, we got the picture of our book cover. You know, it might seem far removed, like, oh, they write these books, but for us, it's like really personal and close to home. It's like, we're just normal girls, like writing this book. So we got pictures of the covers, and then her and I, we actually ran up. She was at my house, and we ran up into my room, and we were like, okay, on the count of 3, let's say which cover we like. Let's not say, you know, in our hearts, which one do we like? It's like 1, 2, 3. And then we both said this one. And so we were like, well, it's so important as an author that you really like the cover of your book. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to want to promote it. If I think my book's ugly, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, go and read it. I'm going to be like, read my book, but don't look at the cover. You know, that's awful. So we knew that we had to really like it. But the other big reason we chose this one is because we felt like it really complemented Girl Define. We felt like Girl Define and Love Define went really well together. So that way, if you get it or you see it at a conference or it's on a book, you know, like being sold, you want your books to kind of match and not one to be like, whoa, where, you know, so we really like that about it as well. And it's clean and crisp, and the love, we really, I think one of the designers at Baker Books, like within their, who works there, she actually custom designed this for us. And so we were super excited about that. Yeah. Really pretty. Excited.
So that was the process. And then really by January of this year, everything was done as far as this book goes. Like the cover was finalized, the design was finished, and then it's just kind of this like season of waiting for like 5 months, just kind of preparing
time
for the release. And you're like, okay, it's almost here. Then each month that goes by, you're just preparing, you're talking about it, trying to spread the word. So for it to be the day that it actually is here, like released to y'all, that's just something that we've been praying for, excited about, anticipating for months, but really for about a year and a half.
Well, and the cool thing is it's so much more than just a book, like to us. It's not just about like, oh, go buy our book, you know, like being an author, especially of Christian books, it's like, you know, you're really not trying to pursue that as a way to like get rich. You know, it's more of a way like you have to be really passionate about it because you're putting your heart and your soul and 1,000,000 hours into it. And so that just, it's like, we just want you to know, like, we're really passionate about the topics in this book. Like, we don't just want you to get it so you can read our little book, you know, that doesn't matter. It's about what's inside. Are there truths that are actually going to help you, things that have changed our lives? And so that's why when we wrote this book and Girl Defined, we really want them to come from a personal perspective. Okay. So like, if we've experienced things, if we've gone through things, then we feel like maybe y'all can relate. And then we take the emails we get, the comments we get from you, and we say like, okay, what are you going through? And then we combine all of that and hopefully write a book that is the most relevant and helpful for where you are in this season. So for us, it's like, we're not just excited about the book, we're really excited and passionate about the topics within the book. And so I thought it would be cool though, maybe we could each share like our favorite.
I was going to say the same thing.
By the way, I think this is our first like public live YouTube video.
Yay!
I don't know if we've ever done one before, and it's really cool. So we don't know how long.
We see all of your comments, and we love. Hey guys, we're so excited. We just keep the comments coming. We love to see those.
Oh, and we should tell y'all before we tell you our favorite part that we really want to do a Q&A. We know y'all love doing Q&As, and we sometimes don't always have the time for it because we're just crazy, like trying to launch the book, you know? And so now we want to sit down and just give you some time to ask. Maybe it's about a topic within the book, anything to do with love, relationships, singleness, marriage, anything like that. Think of your questions. Don't ask them yet because they'll get lost like up in the top. But when we say Q&A time, then we want you to ask them, and we're going to answer as many as possible.
Totally. So let's share a little bit about what our favorite. I think the first thing that I really love, honestly, is the subtitle, Embracing God's Vision for Lasting Love and Satisfying Relationships. And I know that seems cheesy, like I love the subtitle, but we couldn't decide on a subtitle.
Oh, I know.
And then when our publisher like pitched this subtitle to us, we were both like, oh, yes, because it captures the heart of the book, which isn't our opinion. It's not what we think about love and relationships. It's not even just our experiences. Like we've gone through this and here's what we've learned. It's really saying, okay, God is the author of love and romance. He's the designer of marriage. He's the designer of our lives as women. What does he say? He is for this. How does he say that we should best operate our love lives, really? And so when they said God's vision for these things, we were like, yes, because that was really the heart behind our writing, was really getting back to the designer's design and living our lives according to what he says. And that is how we've personally experienced the most freedom, the most joy, and just the most clarity in navigating our love lives.
Totally.
So that was my favorite thing. The first thing about the outside of the book.
The outside of the book, totally. And it's weird because now that I think about it, our publisher actually came up with the name of the book and the subtitle, which is crazy. When we said we wanted to write a book on this topic, that was the first title they sent back. Like, how about Love Defined? Which is like, we were Girl Defined, so we're like, I guess we're going to be the Defined. Like, Girl Defined, Love Defined. I will say though that our third book, the one we're writing right now, will probably not be a Defined. So we are breaking out of the Defines and going to do something else. Okay, my favorite thing, I know I say this every time, but I really like it, y'all. Okay, so if you have the book, go to this section, but I have to find it. Okay, it's called, okay, doing my own little cheers. Where is it? Part 4 on page, I guess it would be like page 138 or something. So part 4, if you have the book, this section, honestly, of the entire book, I love this section so much. It's called Working Through the Nitty-Gritty. And because since I was single when I wrote this book, which is a great thing, I was super happy, loved being single, but I really felt like, okay, if I read a book on relationships, I don't just want them to tell me like the big picture of things. I want to know about the nitty-gritty. Like, what about when he asks you out? What kind of guy should I be looking for? And sometimes books will shy away from those topics because they're like, well, we don't want to give you black and white, and we don't want to give you this because there aren't necessarily, like, in the Bible it's not laid out that way. But I'm like, but we need more help. And so we tried to write it in a way that was based off of biblical principles, not just opinions, but using like experiences and experiences of others to hopefully bring some navigation and help in this area. And so the reason I like this part so much is because if I were reading this book, it's probably the first, I probably wouldn't start at the beginning. Like, I'm terrible this way. I would probably like zoom ahead to the nitty-gritty section and like kind of read that. And then I would go and I would read the rest of it. And specifically within the nitty-gritty, I think that one of them, like how to be just friends with guys, that's a really good one. That's a really, really great section. And the guy friend filter within that one, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show y'all. Guy friend filter, guy friend filter, guy friend filter. That's something that we came up with and kind of worked on together to actually know, like, okay, how can I have guy friendships that are like God honoring? If we're not in a relationship, what does that look like? Because I'm a fan of having guy friendships. How are you supposed to find someone if you don't? Anyway, so that whole section, I could talk all day about that, but that is something I liked. What about you?
Yeah. Part 2 is probably, that's like, I think the meat of the book. In part 2, really getting back to God's design, and it's called Bringing Back True Love. And this section really unpacks getting to the heart of love, marriage, and sex, taking femininity into your love life, being a woman in a relationship, like God's good and beautiful design for our lives, specifically as women. Like, what does that look like? And then is God's timeless method for lasting relationships. So that's a lot. Yeah. But really, I just love the specifics of unpacking what is true love.
Yeah.
Because we talk about the fairy tale facade and how love is so much about feelings and emotions and sexual attraction, which those things can be good. Those aren't bad in and of themselves. But if we build a relationship off of those things alone, those aren't the things that last forever. Those aren't the things that get you through a really hard time. And so I love how we unpack what true and lasting love really is. This agape love, this sort of self-sacrificing, Christ-centered love that says, I'm going to choose to love you through the good times and the bad times. I'm not just going to do it when I feel like it. I'm going to make that effort and that choice. And then just understanding God's good design for marriage, that God is for us, that he has a plan for marriage, that his plan for marriage is actually the most fulfilling when we follow after his ways. And so we really unpack like God's good design for marriage for our lives. And then sexual intimacy, how that doesn't have to be a scary thing, a shameful thing, an awkward thing. Like, it's so good within the right context. And God is for that. He created that. And I just love that we get to the heart of those things. And so often we believe so many lies, even regarding those 3 things, that it can really mess up the way that we go about relationships, the way that we view love and marriage and sexual intimacy. And so when you get you kind of align, your compass back on the north, like God's truth, it will make such a difference in your life, and it has for us. And so to me, just getting that firm foundation, I just think is like so essential for building everything else upon it.
I remember those days of writing that chapter too.
It was a hard
one just because it's like so crucial, and we don't want it to be based on our opinion. We really wanted it to be based upon God's word, because we all have a foundation of truth. Each and every one of us has something where we say, this is where I base my truth off of, whether it's my own feelings, my own opinion, and then I say other people need it. We all have a source of truth. And so for us, God's word is our source of truth. And so we wanted this book to be based off of that and not just our feelings or our opinions, because we truly believe that going about relationships God's way, since he is the designer of love, he's the designer of sex, he created marriage back in the beginning in the garden. We really wanted to unpack that. And I have to say, Kristen worked hard on the love, marriage, and sex chapter, and she did an amazing job. She spent hours and hours and tears in that chapter to make sure that it was the most helpful that it could be for you. And so I think
you'll feel the same way when you read it.
I think that they are. Okay, one more, and then I forgot. We have
giveaways. We have freebies. We're so excited.
One for you and one for me. We each get to give one away. So I think that it would be cool. Okay, how we're going to do the giveaways, we're actually using all of our devices. And so what we would love for you to do is we would love for you to tweet about this, Instagram about it. We know you're probably using your phone, so it might be hard to like post about it right now. So we would love for you to, if you have your book, to post about it. If you have a picture of your book, post a story. If you are on YouTube, post something about it on YouTube, wherever you are. And then how are we going to pick them?
I think so over the next maybe 24 hours.
That's a good idea.
Post any pictures. If you do have a way to capture yourself watching this live celebration,
that would be extra.
That would be really fun. If there's like two of you and you're using one phone, you have another phone, take a picture of y'all watching it. Picture of the book, of anything that you want to post related to Love Defined, watching this.
A quote from this.
Yeah, a quote from the book.
A picture of you in the book would be really great. If you have it, we would love to see you with
it.
So you can post this on Facebook, Instagram. If you do a YouTube, like a review about it, we'll totally see that. That would be like massive points for you. If you do like a story, if you tweet about it, even, Pinterest, anywhere, you can post about it. But it just needs to be about Love Defined. Okay. So you post, and then over the next 24 hours, we are going to pick two of you to get a custom signed copy. These are brand new copies that I'm sticking all over my face, so it'll have my makeup on it for you. That's great. And we are going to sign it, and we are going to customize it to you. So if your name is Julie, we'll be like, hey, Julie, and then we'll write a personal message. And then you are also going to get this is the physical copy of the verse cards, okay? So this has all the verse cards in them, and these are the ones that we offered as a free digital download to those of you who pre-ordered the book. But if you are wanting like the actual verse cards, the ones that we sell only at like our events and at our conference, you can win these, okay? So we don't sell these online because we are not a shipping service and we don't want to be. So we only offer these at like our conference or when we speak somewhere else. And so
they're so cute.
Wow. You can win these. So we're going to give away, it'll be for each winner, it'll be a signed and custom copy of this. And if you're like, but I already have the book. The reason we want to give away the book is because you might have a friend. And so you could even get this one signed to a friend or give her your book and get this one signed to you.
Hey, I like that idea.
Even if you have the book, you want to do it. So how can they win? Let's review.
Okay. That was a lot of information. You can win by posting a picture from the book, a picture of the book, a picture of yourself watching this, a quote from the book. You can even take one of the images that we've recently been posting on any of our social media. You can repost that. You can leave a review, and that will also qualify you. And what we're going to do over the next 24 hours is look at all of the most recent postings, and we're going to pick two of you to send these physical, awesome prizes to with a signed, personalized message of this book. So after this is over, you can start posting, and we'll be watching carefully, and then we will announce on social media the winners. We'll probably do stories and things like that to let you know who the winner is. And then two of you will have these fun things arrive in your mailbox.
Okay, so now we want to go into Q&A. So we thought it would be fun just to take some time. It's a busy day, and so to take some time during the day to connect with y'all, because this book isn't about us. It's not about like, hey, look at the book. It's about y'all and the questions that you have and what you're going through. And it's about your life, and you matter to us, and we care about you, and we want you to have the most successful, Christ-honoring, satisfying relationship and life possible. And so that's why we wrote this. It's for you. And so it wouldn't make sense if we didn't take time during the day today to stop and connect with you and to really just hear what's going on in your life and what things are on your mind. So we would love to know what questions you have. It may even be stuff like, how do I order the book? Or it may be like, I'm getting to know this guy, or I have these questions. So we would really, really love to hear from you. So if you can ask your questions on anywhere. Okay, first one up comes from our sweet friend Faith Berry. And she asks, did y'all ever think you'd be releasing 2 books?
No. I mean, we didn't actually think so. When we first got the contract for Girl Defined, it was our dream to write a book about God's good design for our lives as girls, specifically unpacking that. And so when that happened, it was honestly surprising when our publisher said, hey, we want y'all to do another book. And they actually gave us 2 contracts at the same time. So we have the third one in the works, you'll know. But yeah, it was really surprising. We never really thought, it was hard to imagine it because we never thought we'd actually get the first contract. So when the second book came around,
it was like small miracles.
Yes.
Like literal miracles.
It was. God just like totally opened the door out of nowhere. So yeah, we weren't expecting it. It was very surprising. But now that it's actually happened, we could not be more thrilled.
So, and then someone just asked over there, this isn't like a related question. They said, are y'all selling the lip balms? Actually, guys, we'll throw that in.
Let's show.
I don't know, it's far away.
We can't get to it.
Okay, so we have, if you saw, we posted a story about it, but we have these like custom love-defined lip balms, and we have like these stickers and tissues that say romance troubles are nothing to sneeze about. So romance troubles can be hard. And so we'll throw in some extra goodies with this. So if you win this, then we'll throw some extra ones in. Okay,
I have a question one of them asked, and I was just going to look at the chapter really quick. One of y'all asked, how do you have guy friends? Or can you have guy friends? Is it okay to have guy friends? And y'all, one of our chapters that you wrote because we had struggled. This was hard when we were single. Like, how do you have God-honoring friendships with guys that aren't flirty, that aren't just silly, that aren't just immature,
that aren't like super selfish and
just
based on just like, oh, you make me so happy because I like the way you make me feel.
Like, how do you have God-honoring guy friendships? And so chapter 10, how to be just friends with guys, right? Like no strings attached, just friends with guys. And we unpack this thing that I love you came up with. We call it the guy, what do we call it?
Yeah, I told
the guy friend filter.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
The guy friend filter. And so that actually walks you through like, how much time do I spend with him? Are we getting emotional? What do we talk about when we're together? Is this guy a godly friend for me? How physical is our friendship? Like, it really takes you through this filter and evaluates the relationship and then shows you how to set up really good boundaries and parameters to keep it just friends. And so, yes, you can totally have guy friendships. It's just you have to be really intentional and set up those proper parameters.
Totally. Okay, so there's so many questions coming in. It's hard to keep up with all of them, but just know, like, if we don't answer your question, we still love you. We're sorry. Okay, so let's see. Let me look here. Okay. Why did you write about relationships? Why not something else? That's a really good question. Okay, so this one comes from Instagram, and we're going to answer questions from all of these. Okay, so the last two were from Instagram, and we'll do the next one from YouTube. So you asked, why did we write a book on relationships and not something else? The reason that we wrote a book on relationships is not because we were like, we want to write on love and romance, even though that's really fun to write on. But the reason we wrote on that is because our publisher said, hey, we want you to go look at your emails, look at your blogs, look at your audience, and figure out what do they want to know about the most. Which topics are they interested in the most? Which blogs that you send out get the highest click rates? Which YouTube videos that you post get the highest view rates? And so you're like, that's a great idea. Instead of deciding what we want to write, why don't we go and see what topics y'all are most interested in? And so hands down, the topic of relationships, guys, just skyrocketed. It beat everything else. It was the most asked, most viewed, most interested topic by far on our blog, on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram. Like, I'm not joking. If we post something about relationships, guys, love, romance, it's literally typically like 2 to 3, even 4 times as much interaction as any other post. And so sometimes you're like, why do you talk about this so much? Well, because it's a big topic on your mind. And so that's why we wrote Love Defined, because we knew we're like, we can keep writing about this, we can keep blogging about this, but we wanted you to have something more, something you could take home and dig into deeper. Because it's hard to sit there for like 5 hours and be like, here's everything that we want to tell you. Where if you have a book, you can have everything we've ever wanted to tell you in the book, and then you can take it home. So that's really the reason that we wrote Love Defined, because it's just something that you really wanted to know.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully you're going to get the answers that you were looking for when you emailed us. One of you asked, tell us more about the summer study. Nice. I'm so excited because we are going to, some of you may not know about this, some of you may, but we're going to do a live summer study on YouTube, so you can tune in. Are we going to do it everywhere or just YouTube? I don't know, but we're going to live stream it. It's free.
I think it's going to be on YouTube.
Probably on YouTube. We're going to do it Monday nights, 6 Mondays in a row, starting the first Monday in June. It's going to be a 6-week summer study, a book study, and we're actually going to walk, anyone who wants to join us, you can join us. We're going to walk through Love Defined, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to teach through it. We're going to unpack some of these truths in more details. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to do fun giveaways. This is completely free. You can do it by yourself. You can get a group of girls together and do like a Monday night girls night. It's going to be 1 hour long each night. So not a big commitment, but something so fun. If a bunch of girlfriends get the book, you can all do this together, and then we'll actually leave you with discussion questions that you can dig into even further after the study each week.
And it's like giveaways each week too.
Giveaways. It's just going to be
icebreakers.
It'll be like girls' night out online for 6 weeks starting the first Monday in June. So for more details, just go to our website, girldefined.com/lovedefined, and scroll down and you'll see a section where you can actually sign up, because you will need to sign up.
Oh yeah.
If you're not on the list, the sign up, like the registration form, then you won't actually get the access email, so you won't really know how to access it. So we'd love to have any and all of y'all join us. It's going to be a really fun summer study.
Okay, and I want to answer 2 questions. One quickly, where can I get the book? That's actually a good question. It doesn't, like if you live somewhere not in America and you're like, I really want to get the book, probably the best place to go is to go look up Baker Books, and then on their website, let me see their website. Maybe we can tell them exactly. If you want to know, you're like, Amazon's not working right now. There's a delay because I know we're having a lot of you are buying it right now. And so some booksellers are selling out and they're trying to restock. Mm-hmm. And so we want everyone to be able to get it. So if you order our book from this website.
Oh, there it was. Yeah. Okay. Baker Publishing is our publisher.
So obviously. It's bakerpublishinggroup.com. So if you want to get the book, and it's actually cheaper on Baker Publishing Group than on Amazon right now. So if you want to get our book and you don't know where to get it, you're going to go here. Baker, Baker, publishinggroup.com. So you can just Google it, Baker Publishing Group. And I think they ship anywhere in the world.
I think so.
If anyone would, it would be them. And the super cool thing, oh no, your computer's about to die.
Oh no.
14 minutes. Okay. You think, should you grab a charger? Okay. She'll grab a charger. I'll keep talking.
Oh no, we're about to die.
All our devices are about to like run out of battery. So Baker Publishing Group actually offers an amazing deal on our books. So if you order, say you have a group of friends, you have a youth group, a Bible study, and you want to order more than, if you order 20 books, they give you 40% off the book for anyone on their website. It's crazy. Anyways, okay, so let me see here. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. So one of the questions that, let's see, this is one, some of you are genuinely asking this, and you want to know our thoughts on the LGBT community, on homosexuality, all of that. And we want to tell you something, that we are actually really excited to talk about that topic and to discuss it with y'all. This is not an off-limits topic for us. This isn't something where like, it's y'all against us, anything like that. So if you have these thoughts, like, what is going on? Why don't you, why do you have your opinions on this? Why do you have your thoughts on this? Why are you against this or whatever? Anything like that. We just want you to know, one, that we are really passionate about understanding, getting to the truth of what is the truth of our sexuality. What is like, who is the designer of that, and how can we really understand more fully? And so one thing we want you to know is that we are actually in the midst of really studying that right now, as far as like digging into, because we believe that God is the designer of us, that he created us, that we all came from somewhere. And in the beginning, we believe that God created 2 humans, Adam and Eve, and that we are now all a result of those 2 humans, that initial marriage that God created. And so we are studying this. We're reading books from people that are way smarter than us, like doctors and psychologists and all sorts of people who have really amazing perspectives. And the main thing is that we want to learn how to communicate, because we all believe truth. We all believe something, we all believe some sort of truth that's true for us. And we believe either, I think you should do this, or I think you should do that. I believe this is the right way, or I believe this is the right way. We all do that because we all have opinions. We all have thoughts, and we all want other people to say, well, why do you believe this? And so one thing we want you to know is that if you're on our YouTube channel and you don't agree with us, that's okay. We welcome you here. We're glad you're here, because the thing is, we don't always have to agree with everyone in order to get along. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that we're just excited because our next book that we're releasing is on the topic of sexuality, of sex, of all of that, getting to the very core of who we are, because our sexuality is such a core part. It's such a core part of our identity. And it really affects us on a more personal level than something like, well, do you believe it's okay to wear, pants or only a skirt? It's like, those are just kind of like, those are important, but not like, it's not going to affect, it shouldn't affect relationships that much. But so often our sexuality, we feel like, it's so personal if we disagree with someone. And you know what? It's okay for us to disagree, but we just want us to get back to, okay, what is the truth? Like, let's really think about this. And then let's base each of us base our lives and the way that we live off of the truth that we genuinely and truly believe, and then strive to live that out as much as possible. That's what we're doing. And so with that being said, we just want you to know that we are excited for this YouTube channel and all the conversations that it's starting. And just know that we don't have all the answers. We don't think that we know everything.
And really and truly, our thoughts or our opinions on this, it's not because it's the most popular opinion out there. Clearly, like, what we're doing and what we're striving after is, like our title says, love defined or girl defined by who? And what is defining it? And even sexuality defined by who? Who is defining this? And like Bethany said, we all can have different opinions, but ultimately for us, we don't care so much about our own opinion, but we want to know who created us. What is our purpose on this earth? Where are we going in the end? What is the meaning of all of this? And if there is a creator, what does he have to say about our design? What does he have to say about who we are as humans? If he loves us, if he cares about us, which we believe he does, what does he say? How does he define us? And if he's a good father, which he says he is, and we believe he is, then his design must be good. And if we don't think it is, maybe it's because we don't fully understand it. And so our passion really is to not define our own lives, but to always try to be humble and say, God, what is your design for me as a human? Why did you create me? What's my purpose? And ultimately, what is my life about? Is it about me? Or is it about me glorifying you, the creator, and looking to you for answers? And so that's really our heart behind everything that we're teaching, everything that we're writing, is to say, how does the designer define us? And then to unpack that for all of us. And it's a journey. We're on this journey, we're learning and growing, but that is our hope and our prayers, that our channel, our social medias, we be about all of us together striving to understand how the designer defines us and then living according to that good design.
Yeah. And one thing that I just really appreciate for those of you who say like, I disagree with you on this, but the way when you come and you have like respectful conversations and you say like, I really don't agree with you on this. This is what I believe, but you don't get angry or upset or whatever. And I really appreciate having those conversations because I feel like we can really just, learn from one another and we can really push each other forward and ultimately drill down to what is the truth. And so I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who really are respectful in the way that you communicate. It just is really awesome that we can have differences of beliefs and still we're just all humans. We're all people, and to come together and have those respectful kind of disagreements is really awesome. So to those of you out there who do that, thank you so much. All right, moving on. What we have probably like 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Time is going by so fast.
I know.
Why don't you do one and then I'll do one?
Okay, what have you asked? Can you still be pure if you aren't a virgin? And that's such a great question. And we actually talk in our book about this whole idea of purity. Even we get into sexuality a little bit. We get into God's design for these things. And we, in the very back, we wrote an appendix because we know that's a question that a lot of you have is, I've messed up. I've done this sexually, I regret it, or I'm in this relationship, it's not pure. And we have sinned too, like we have made lots of mistakes and we're constantly saying like, okay, God, would you now purify our hearts? Would you help us? And so we wrote an appendix called Finding Freedom and Forgiveness from Past Sexual Sin in the very back of the book, because we've all sinned. And we've all sinned sexually in one way or another, whether it's even a lustful thought or whether it's a full out action that we're engaging in. We've all sinned in this way, and we all need to understand how to find forgiveness, how to be humble and repentant, how to receive God's forgiveness, and to know that, yes, God is in the restoration business, and at any moment, his arms are open. He is welcoming us for us to be humble before him and to say, God, I'm sorry, I've sinned against you. Would you forgive me and help me to walk in a way that's right, that's according to your word, which is his good design for purity, for sexual purity. So yes, at any moment, you can stop and say, God, from this moment forward, would you help me to move forward on this journey of honoring you with my sexuality, with my purity, in my thoughts. And God will give us the strength to do that. Not perfectly, right? Because we're still going to struggle. We're still sinners, but he's going to help us and give us strength if we seek him. So at any moment along the journey, you can do that and turn around, go in a new direction, and walk in a way that is pure.
And I just want to, some of you are like, I want to give you a quick shout out, those of you who are on here. Suzanne Brinson and Abby and Alyssa Hupp and let's see, Lori and Katie Salter. Good morning, Kathy. So many of you on here that are just on here joining us and being a part of this. we really are excited that you're on here. And so thanks for joining us. And it's been so much fun. Okay, so I just want to, I know some of you, hi y'all, it's so good. Yes, I know some of you are like, say hi. So that's why I want to say hi to y'all. And Tino from Zimbabwe and South Africa. And Beth, and we've got Nikki, Lizzie, Faith. It's so good to have you on here. For some reason on Facebook, we can't see your names.
We're sorry for sideways.
We're sorry. We're sideways. We don't know what's going on. It's just so good to have you all on here. Allison, love from London. Thank you so much. Emma Johnston and Heather England and Rebecca Downey. Hey, from Jersey Shore. Zarina and Celine.
Yep.
Adriana and Natalie. It's just really great.
Thanks for celebrating. I mean, that's what this is about. It's a Love to Find Book celebration, just to get on here and chat down to earth, behind the scenes. Like, obviously our set is, you know, you can tell, like, this isn't that professional. We're just trying to be down to earth and have fun. And so thank y'all for coming and celebrating with us. We are so excited.
So much fun. And I wanted to use my last question to say hi to them. So
okay, well, that was your last question.
I just wanted to say hi to them. Okay, so like we said, we're going to be giving these away. And you already have them. Okay, so Love to Find. If you want to get it, totally get it. If you don't already have it, you can order it. Like we said, you can go to Baker Publishing Group. You can go to Barnes & Nobles. You can go to Christian Books, whatever, Amazon.com, and they will, I don't think on Amazon it's going to be as long as a wait as they say. There's books being shipped there right now, so it's probably not going to be as long as they're saying that it is. But you can get it, and if you want to win a copy, we want to give some books away. We're doing giveaways on our Instagram. We're doing giveaways on our personal Instagrams. We're doing giveaways here. So there's going to be a lot of books shipped out within the next week or two. Go and post a picture of you with a book, a picture of you watching this live, a picture of you and a quote, a picture of a quote, something we've posted. You can repost it. And we're going to pick 2 winners to win these packages in the next few days. But thank you all so much for celebrating with us. Do you have any final words?
Any final words just to win? Because I think some people may have just been tuning on. Post a picture. Did you already say that? About how to win at the very end?
A tiny bit.
Okay, just post a picture of you with the book if you have it, of a quote from the book. Repost anything that we've been posting recently on social media. You can post a picture of yourself watching this if you can. That'd be fun. And hashtag everything Love to Find. Tag us at Girl to Find, and we'll be searching all of this over the next 24 hours, and we'll pick 2 of you to win these awesome prizes. So in closing, we really just want to say thank y'all for your support, for your encouragement. So many of you have been contacting us and just saying, hey, I really want to encourage you. I want to support you. I love what you're doing. Keep up the great work. And that is so inspiring to us, honestly, because there are days where it can be really hard. And we're just praying, God, give us the energy to keep going, because some days we're tired and we're cranking out so many different projects. But your support and encouragement just means so much to us. So we love y'all. We love the sisterhood, and we can't wait to do another one of these live videos. We can't wait to see y'all on our summer study starting starting in June. And then stay tuned, because the next couple of days we're going to be rolling out some stuff about a international coloring contest, which I'm super excited about. More to come, but thank y'all for joining us and hanging out with us for about 40 minutes. We're going to start. We have so many things. We have to turn off this one. We have to turn off this one. We have to turn off this one. But have a wonderful rest of your day, and we cannot wait to hang out with y'all again soon. Bye, girls.
We will see y'all again sometime.